Hold up, before you get to watching this video, let me talk to you for a second. Hit that bell down below and subscribe to the Fitz Take Podcast YouTube channel so you'll know when every episode is dropping or if something has been posted on this page. Also, be sure to follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. Now back to the episode.
In post game, Coach Kelly was pretty mad. Let's see how mad he was.
We had some guys played their butts off tonight, and we're sitting here again. We're sitting here again talking about the same things. About not finishing when you have an opponent in a position to put them away. But what we're doing on the sideline is feeling like the game's over. And I'm so angry about it that I got to do something about it. I'm not doing a good enough job as a coach. We had some guys play.
Bro, I want to make a meme out of that so bad. Like, you know.
It's out there. It's out there. When
they reenact the TikTok, I would just want to use those lines and be like, when your girl make chicken Alfredo again, we eating the same thing again. I mean, it's again. I love that thing, bro. Yeah.
You got it already, bro. You know Twitter work fast. Twitter work fast. So if you do something, it's out there. So they got him already. It's out there. And that's going to be used all season long. Unfortunately, BK, I understand the frustration. I understand it. I understand you go in there and you prepare all off season. You think that you know your team going in, but you never really know until the bullets start flying. And so you get in there, the bullets start flying, and ultimately you lose the battle. Like, I understand the frustration. And for him, every head coach is defined by what their wins and losses record is, right? And currently, his win and loss record in openers is 0 for 3. They lost in the opener to Florida State in the Superdome. They lost out in Orlando. They got mollywopped. And now they lose here to USC by 7 points. So for him, he's wondering and trying to figure out, what is it about my team where I cannot get them to get off to a great start? That is very frustrating because everybody in the country, from Pee Wee to the NFL, everybody wants to start the season 1-0 because that sets you up, that gives you confidence, that has you feeling pretty good, and it allows you to build off of things because then you have game tape that you can look at where you can make improvements, where you can make adjustments, and you can build upon the season. But when you start 0 for 1, your adversity is right out the gate because now their process isn't changing. And for all the LSU fans out there that are banging on the table right along with Brian Kelly saying fire him and all of that, y'all need to sit down, okay? You're coming off of a season where didn't LSU win 10 games last season? Mm-hmm. They won 10 games, okay? I understand what the standard is. The standard is to win championships, to compete for that. Not even compete, because LSU fans have a unrealistic expectation that every year you're supposed to win the championship. I get that. That's the expectation that you want to have as a fan base. But ultimately, what you have to understand is that it ain't going to always go in your favor. But what you can do is not about what happens to you. It's always about the response. How are you going to respond? Now, obviously, the response, the opponent that you're going to be facing is one that you're going to beat the snot out of. We know they're going to beat Nicholls 100-0. We know that, okay? But the point is that if your team is able to come out and play inspired after that, is when you really can be able to gauge what type of team that you truly have. Last year, they came out and they did beat Grambling in their next game. But there was a lot of moments where we started to realize this defense might not be good because Grambling was eating on them boys in a lot of the moments, especially early on. Again, they won the ball game, but you were able to see something. So now it's about how is LSU going to come out and respond? How is LSU going to come out and figure out how do they get this thing back on track? And then as they prepare to go into SEC play, how can they set themselves up to go 1-1? And then when they play South Carolina, how can they go 2-1? And then when they play UCLA, how can they go 3-1? And so on and so forth until you get yourself back into the college football playoff picture.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It is frustrating, and I think LSU fans do have unrealistic expectations of what this team should be year in and year out. But I'm gonna say this though, just moving forward with now they got to play Nicholls. This is the type of week where I say the minor things is the battle for you this week. Last week you had 10 penalties. Cut it down to 2. You want to make sure you're efficient on third down. Defensively, how often can you get off the grass? So like those minor things is what wins the game, like against Nicholls. Because if Garrett Nussmeier come out and throw 7 touchdowns, we're gonna be like, oh, that's kind of expected. I mean, if you come out and beat Nicholls 75-6, I mean that's kind of expected. If you come out there and the starter's not playing after halftime, that's kind of expected. So right now, what you want to do is just win the small things, and which is the penalties. You cut that down. Make sure that you're efficient on third down. Making sure to see how much time you get on the first down, the time of possession, playing that ball game and getting in a rhythm of stuff like that. Because again, this is what's going to get you ready for your next couple of games, especially as you head into the SEC play. So if LSU does stuff like that, that's a win for me. I'm not looking at the scoreboard next week. LSU, I'm not judging you by the scoreboard at all next week. I am judging you about how clean you can play, how efficient you can play, how defensively you can get off the grass, and things of that nature. So, yes, be frustrated. Take it out on Nicholls this week, but take it out in a way of making sure that you're monitoring every mistake that you had against USC a week ago.
Absolutely. LSU falls in the AP poll to number 18, which is not a bad fall after losing to the number 23 team in the country. I'm not sure how far up USC moved up in the rankings. I'm just looking at on ESPN where LSU has been able to change their ranking. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
I think like 18, right?
To my USC?
No, I don't know what USC is.
Let's see. USC moved up to number 13, so they got a huge boost. That was a big win for them. That now puts them right on the porch of the college football playoff conversation. So these games are truly important, no doubt about it. But LSU will try to right their wrongs as they will face off with the Nicholls State Colonels on September the 7th at 6:30. That game will air on ESPN Plus and on the SEC Network.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Fitz Take podcast. Be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow me and Elijah on our social media platforms. They will be linked down in the description. And remember, every episode of the Fitz Take podcast will air right here on the YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.